morning and welcome to your favorite show on television, the Sunday show, coming to you from the Abuja Hilltop studio of your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television, AIT. We are glad you could join us again today. The long list of challenges facing Nigeria and its citizens have over time been ascribed to poor leadership qualities of the ruling class, mostly for their inability to formulate quality policies and implement them effectively when finally formulated. While successive governments at all levels claim they have the strategy to do better than all their predecessors, the reality on ground continues to indicate that things are not getting any better. For how long can a nation continue in this line? Is there any end in sight for the prolonged hardship the majority of the citizens are going through? Perhaps our discussion today may set a new or different tone for a brighter future for the nation. It is clear that instant turnaround of the current socio-economic situation across the country is not feasible. Therefore, short or long-term plans to get things right may just be the key. The major actors in this case clearly are the Nigerian youth. Are this set of Nigerians ready for this challenge? With all these distractions that come with technological advancement, the social media space and influence of corrupt leaders, are the youth poised to make the positive difference? We shall be having engagement with some young Nigerians. That will be after we take you on a trip to what the major news items were through the week. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We are still watching the Sunday show on AIT. Lest we forget, that Communications PLC, owner of Africa's foremost independent radio and television stations, RAPAR, AIT, Faji, FM, and Associates, rolled out the drums to commemorate the second-year remembrance of the founder and late media mogul, High Chief Raymond Alego Dokpesi.
Consumers of DA's media outlets, especially AIT and Ray Power FM, recognize the values they upheld, both African and Christian. Values never compromised by media sensationalism or market pressures. Moreover, DA Communications was so prolific and professional in broadcasting educative, informative, and entertaining content with a strong emphasis on African culture, that its administrative policies set standards adopted by other private companies and even served as a template for the Nigerian Television Authority. Thank you, Chief Raymond Dokpesi, for contributing to the mission of the church and for promoting values in Nigeria and beyond. It is our hope that this National Public Lecture during Communications Week will indeed inspire hope in our distressed nation, prompted by the strength of its presentations and inspired by exemplary figures of the stature of Raymond Dokpesi and others who have engaged professionally and pastorally in media communication with distinction. In a very special way, I welcome my bosses, His Eminence, John Cardinal Onoyekon, the Emeritus Archbishop of Abuja, Your Excellencies, Most Reverend Anselm Umore, Auxiliary Bishop of Abuja, Most Reverend David Ajang, the Bishop of Lafayette and Chairman Communications Directorate, Most Reverend Gerard Musa, Bishop of Lafayette. Very specially, I want to welcome a former Secretary General of the CSN, Reverend Father George Ehusani, the moderator of today, one without whom the history of this very place we are gathered in is incomplete. And I tell you, my journey into the CSN began with him when I served as a very young priest, just 3 years old in the priesthood then, as his personal assistant during his tenure as the Secretary General way back in 2001, over 24 years ago. Thank you for the impact and the influence, Father. I'm grateful. We're happy to have you here with us, and I personally continue to count on your counsel and support during my time here as I step into your shoes that are too large for me. I welcome all the priests, religious, Dr. Henry Uzeku, Dr. Shoaibu Hussaini, Dr. Musiliku Majid, the management of DA Communications, Sister Okmalebo, all our special guests, seminarians, students, ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press. Once again, I say welcome to you all and thank you for your kind attention. As I end, I ask that we observe a minute of silence to pray for the soul of High Chief Raymond Dokpesi.
Eternal rest grant unto him, O Lord. May he rest in perfect peace. Amen.
It was a week-long event featuring various activities as public lectures and Thanksgiving Mass, all held in his honor during the week. We at the Sunday Show pray for the continuous repose of his wonderful soul.
The second memorial service in honor of Raymond Aleo Dokpesi coincided with the Ascension, a liturgical solemnity which is usually observed on the 6th Thursday after Easter.
The Paschal mystery of Christ had to end with the Ascension, otherwise it would have been complete. He became man. After he was man, he suffered, lived like us, and then died, rose again.
Appreciation to God Almighty, the family and friends of Justina Okpo, Nee Dokpesi, were at the Catholic Church of Transfiguration to reflect on the life and times of the man Raymond Aleo Dokpesi.
Raymond and I were very close. There's nothing he wants to do without letting me know. I know he's in God's hands. He's in the bosom of the Lord.
Just being at rest, no more pain, and knowing that people came out for him since then till now means that it touched more than the number of lives we thought it touched.
He was a great man. He not only loved Nigeria as a country, he loves people. Sometimes when you go through some of those videos where he's dancing and all, you feel pained.
Uncle Raymond was everything. A father, always there, just always present in our lives.
In his lifetime, he was valuable to society and to the church. And he has gone, his legacy he left has lived beyond him, even at death.
Raymond Aleo Dokpesi died Monday, May 29th, 2023. Anu Awojabi, AIT News, Lagos.
What a man he was. Back to the topic for the day. We have some youth from the youth wing of one of our religious bodies in Abuja who have been eager to speak to fellow youth as part of their contribution to nation building.
Infotainment journey showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
It is The Sunday Show on Africa Independent Television, AIT. And this morning already you know what program you're watching. It's a very regular one. And today we are looking at a very important topic, Nigeria's contemporary challenges, the role of the youth. And today I have a group of young men in the studio this morning. And of course, we'll be looking at every aspect of young people, the role they play from our houses and the church environment and the society, and of course, how they manage their own challenges as well. So I have Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria, Sion, young boys, and of course, they have a program for this Sunday. And of course, how many Sundays is going through. So Church of Assumption Asokoro, Abuja, 2025 Youth Week. And I will be introducing them from my immediate right is Mr. Michael Ajewale Uluwasheyi. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And of course, my extreme right is a handsome-looking Obi Ilozumba. Did I got the name correctly?
Yes, Obi Ilozumba, correct.
Obi. I am Obi Ajuru.
Ah, Obi Mnetochi.
Aha. So I don't like abbreviating my name because when I tell you my name is Obi Ajuru, you call me Obi, I'll look at you somehow. Aha. Because where we come from, it is when you pronounce the name fully. That is when people understand.
You well.
So please don't abbreviate the name next time.
No problem.
Just write it complete. All right, on a lighter mood. I know everyone is having fun. Okay, on my left is my one and only. Yes, so Matthias Innocent.
Yes,
how come you're bearing two English names?
Well, I have a local name too, but the two English names come first.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
So today, we have a lot to talk about. Let us begin with the Catholic Week first. So, Sheyi,
yes, ma'am.
You need to open the floor. Let us know what you are doing that made you come to television to wanting to let Nigerians know more about it. I know Church of Assumption is the church of the man who built this company, where he attended Mass since 2001 till
last 2 years.
The burial Mass.
Yeah.
Yes, and the Mass still held May 29 for him in memorial. So tell us about the Sion, the Youth Week.
Okay, the Catholic Youth Organization of Nigeria is one of the organs in the Catholic Church. And yearly, we always have a movement where we come together to talk about a lot of things affecting both our country, our spiritual life, anything around the church, the society, and the politics at large. And this year, we are going to have another edition of it. It comes once in a year, and this year, instead of it to be a week program, we've expanded to be a month program, whereby once in a week, we come together for a particular program. For instance, in the next 2 weeks, we are going to have a spelling bee, whereby we are going to have the teenagers, the kids that will come around, where they're going to learn more about their academic life. And the following week, that is where we are going to have more of the youths outside Abuja. We are going to invite them to come and join us to participate in our sports fiesta. Of course, you know, football is one of the things that unites people together, most especially the young people. And that is why we're going to have a sports fiesta for a lot of young people to come around, to come and participate. And fast forward to other weeks where we're going to have the grand finale. That is why we're going to have the major events that we have lined up for that week. We are going to have a lecture about our spiritual life. That one is going to be one of the major topics that we're going to have. And of course, entrepreneurship. Of course, you know, most of our youth these days, most of them, they say, and I do, mind is a devil's workshop. So we want to go, this is an avenue for us to at least enlighten them, teach them on how to be dependent on themselves, where they can start a business on their own. Of course, if God help us, we can be able to at least empower them, but maybe any of the things that they might need after what they've learned from us. And at the end of this Youth Week this year, we have a target whereby we're going to establish...
Don't go to the target yet. I want to go to my male version of my name. So I want you to also pronounce the name again. Let Nigerians hear you.
Okay, so the name is Obimne Tochi.
Obimne Tochi.
My heart glorifies the Lord. Yes.
So, you are a young person, and I'm sure 3 of you here, none of you is less than 22? No. So in any case, my questions may not sound strange. But first of all, apart from the church program, because we want to really, really look at what the youth, the young people, because Nigeria is one of the countries that are blessed on the surface of the earth when it has to do with young people, our population.
Exactly.
I don't want to put percentage on it, but if you go to countries like Europe, you will discover how far and how much God bless this country. But the young people, are we really making good use of our hands? Because he talked about he rolled out some of the activities of the young people, what you're doing and what you're about doing again in the church. So I want you to expand on it. And then from there, we'll link it with politics and how the young persons today, they don't even want to stand on their own. A lot of us want to be political aides.
Okay, well, thanks for that question. So I know, I would like to say, and I believe so much that the young Nigerian is very much active. We are strong, we are young. I mean, we would not be this agile ever again. You know, we're getting older and weaker, so to say, by the day. So what now happens with this energy? How do we convert it to money, to a proper lifestyle, to influence our friends, our family, and the likes?
Positively.
Positively, thank you very much. And that is where you get to find out that there are moments that, as you know, in our language, you get to get to hear people tell you, "Cut soup for me." They're asking you for what to do. How do I progress? How do I make a living? And we are trying to use this Youth Week to show people that you are capable. There's this strength in you. You can come and learn 1 or 2 ways that you can use to develop yourself in entrepreneurship, in your spiritual life, in your physical health, and you know, any other which ways possible. And that is what we're going to be doing in the coming weeks.
More expansion?
Okay, just to add up to what you've already said, we are also working on we know today the youth are more interested in technology, the internet, and what have you. So we're having a program that will be able to enlighten youth more about their lives on social media and how they can take advantage of the internet, you know, to be of benefit to them and to be able to make something useful out of it, instead of just wasting time on internet, having to watch, like you mentioned earlier, about how the European countries have been taking advantage of technology and what have you to do so many things. And then we in Africa here, we're blessed. We're so much blessed that we can now take advantage of those technologies too and be able to, sell ourselves out there to the world, to be, to make ourselves useful and be productive.
Okay, fine. Oluwaseyi.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is bankrolling you? Is that funny?
Yeah, it is.
The program you are set out to do, you want young people or younger ones to come tap into technologies, right?
Yes, yes.
And I'm sure you have not just speaking with mouth, you have the equipment to demonstrate what, like maybe you want to teach them about a particular topic, you have your PowerPoints, every of those things put together. I know that there is so much power in the church when it has to do with putting events together. They will come from everywhere. So that's why I asked, who they bankroll you?
Yeah, bankrolling now has been one of our major challenges, actually, because this kind of event that we have outlined already, there are things that we've been trying to reach out to a lot of organizations, companies, individuals that can sponsor our events. But so far, so good. The turnout has not really been encouraging, but we still want to do it, and we are still open for more sponsorship to come over and take one or two activities for us. At least each of the activities, if a company can come around, that day is going to be all about them. At least all their products and services is going to be displayed there. Anything that has to do with that event that day, they'll be the one that is going to take charge of that event for that day. That is their own benefit for sponsoring that event. And at the end of the Youth Week, actually, we are planning to have a computer institute established in the church there, whereby young people can be able to come around. And of course, with that kind of establishment, we need a lot of organizations that are into aids when it comes to youth development, comes to computers, comes to training, anything that has to do with computer, at least. Not only about just learning computer, because these days you see a kids of 5 years, 6 years already operating computer. But now we are advanced, where we are going to teach about coding, software building, website building, just all the advanced aspects of computer. So all those kind of things is something that we cannot do it on our own. We still need people that will come aboard to come and sponsor us, either by partnering with us or by voluntary sponsorship for the program.
I want to pronounce it my own way. My own is Obiajuru.
It's also the same.
Yes. So this kind of bringing young people together, looking into your face and your eyes, I have the feeling that you would have want to bring these people together and house them. Yeah. Like a hostel, kind of, where they come out from the hostel. For those of you, I don't think any one of you went to boarding school. Did you?
Yeah.
You did? Yeah. You attended boarding school? Yes. And you see how interesting it can be? Yes. So those of us who went to school in the 80s, it was really beautiful being in boarding school. Yes. So when you bring people like that together, most especially young people, and then in the morning, we go spiritual, everybody pray together, and then take a shower. The next place is the dining hall, and then classroom. Now, you are putting this together, and these young people you're organizing this show for, are coming from their various homes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the venue is at the Church of Assumption, Asokoro. Inside the church or in one of the spaces. Fine. Now, he talked about having to teach students or the young people about making good use of the computer to better their tomorrow, coding, etc. Yes. Now, those computers, you have them at being a mouth, we just take talk and say like this, we do coding, or not like that. How?
At this moment,
yes,
we do not have them. Now, I can teach you coding on my laptop with bringing your chair closer.
How I want to take practice.
That is, so it's
how I want to take practice.
Well, the hope would be that you would have your own laptop. So for assignments and the likes, and your own convenience, you submit and we'll go through them later. But now, when we are going out to bring many people, we're projecting a hall, sort of, like, the cyber cafes as we used to have. 20, 30 systems running together, people seated in a conducive environment, learning, and this is what we hope to achieve. The housing method that you talked about is not what, we didn't have that style in mind.
Okay.
If it becomes necessary, we would definitely look around for how to get it done. But we're looking more towards an idea of, say, a daily, you come, you learn, you go home.
Okay.
You come, you learn.
That is fine.
Yes.
Matthias.
Yes.
Daily, you come, you learn, you go.
And you go. And
the thing where I let go disappear. If I don't have a means to practice at home, so until I come again tomorrow.
Not really. I want to just share a little testimony here because I'm privileged to have to study cybersecurity in school, and the church also gave me an opportunity to advance that course. This same church, Church of the Assumption, to advance the course in the sense that they came up with a program, ICT program, and then cybersecurity was involved. And when I went there for orientation, I saw that, okay, this is advanced. It's not just what I knew in school. So the world is fast advancing. It's already a global village. That even with your Android phone, you'll be able to access some of the things that I can do on my laptop. You'll be able to do it with your phone. So coding, you can still have coding, not in depth with your phone, but at least the basics with your phone, pending when you'll be able to have a laptop to help you. But in as much as we have youth in the parish that are having laptops, we can come together, and then those who have benefited from all these ICT trainings will come together, then put these things together, help those who don't have laptops, teach them, then we'll have it maybe 2-3 times a week. You go, you come back. I guess you will forget some things, but if we keep you in check, you'll be able to, keep some things that are relevant to you, and maybe the basics, and then you help yourself and we move forward.
It's time to go politics. I have young people in the house who determine the future of Nigeria.
Exactly.
So I want to begin with Oluwaseyi Ifumi, right?
Correct.
Every human being is a political animal.
Yeah.
Now 2027 is around the corner, and it is in the hand of the young people. Would you also want to remain as aspiring to be a political aide, or that the young people should be given a voice? The young person should be allowed in determining our tomorrow by being appointed as either a minister, because I could remember Gowon became president of this country at what age? At 32 or thereabouts? Yes. So why are we having non-presidents, people who are already 40-something, headed 50? Why are we having special advisor on youth empowerment, men who are already retiring from being young people? So, where are we headed? So, it's time for us to talk politics now.
Okay.
2027 is here.
Yeah.
Are we going to help them to carry ballot box, or that we will do the right thing? Because if the church, with the contributions the church is making with the young people, I think we'll be better.
Yes. The problem that we are facing when it comes to politics and the youth is that most of us, we like sitting
Don't
at
also forget that there is so much politics in the church too.
Yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm much aware of that. I'm much aware of that.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem we're facing is that most of us, we sit at the comfort of our zone and we watch things going south differently how it's supposed to go.
Just give me the one I want. That is what is due to me now.
Yes, yes.
Make I collect my own chop now. Now, Nasabi.
Once they have that opportunity, they misuse it.
Then you complain for another 4 years.
That is the problem that most of us were having. Now, in the church also, we have politics in the church. You see some people, they will tell you that I'm like a Catholic, that a communicant. They will tell you that politics is dirty. That because I'm a communicant, I can't participate in the politics. Now, the question I always ask them is that, what if you enter into politics and you change the narrative in that politics? Mm-hmm. Why can't you use being a communicant, why can't you use that to enter into politics and tell them how things are supposed to be done. Now, we as a youth, when we are in dire need of some, maybe from some urgent 20K, and one politician just come, just give me 50K. The next thing you just see them, they will now be doing something different. Some of us, we have a platform, for instance, our social media platform. Instead of them to use it to campaign for somebody that you vote for who you think is the best, but they will be using it to campaign for someone that has given them money or somebody that has promised them to give them something after they have won the election. But when they win the election, they are nowhere to be found. Some years ago in 2018, when I was lucky to campaign for somebody who was contesting for governorship election in Oyo State. Before that election, during the election, we are like 5 and 6. Unfortunately, she did not win that governorship election, but she was given an appointment of SSA. If I tell you that today, that woman, she has never picked my call. If I test her, she will never pick. Now, I was like, that period of time, what I did was
she needed you.
She needed me, and we are very close. But now that she has got at least, even not exactly what she wanted, but she has gotten something, she forgot me. Now, as a youth, if you always think ahead of time, then I was not really this thinking ahead of time, ahead of me when it comes to politics, enlightening about it. So I was just there working for her. But when I realized that this is how things are done, what I do is, if I know you are going to do well, I will campaign for you. Then I will forget. If you like, you remember me. If you like, you don't remember me. But if you fail, I will still be the one that will still campaign against you.
Anambra Election is coming in your state. So tell me about how the young people, the role you're going to play.
Okay, so with the young people.
Even if you're not going to be there physically.
Yes. You know, sometimes, as you mentioned, the young people, it seems like we don't get to understand the powers in our hands. And how do I say it? It's a lot to unbundle, so to say. But then now, I would wish for a country where we are much more conscious, that we know the process, we know how to, if not for, if not to prop somebody up, for you to be able to have a stand and say that I want someone who is like this. Instead of just breeze blow you, here you go, this one comes, who flashes money, you know, the highest bidder. And what that will do is that regardless of what money, because money will be thrown around.
Yes.
Regardless
who can still collect their money without voting for them.
Thank you. So regardless of how much money is thrown at you, they promise you disappointment. Deep down within you, you know that this guy is not, he has not done well enough to warrant a second term or even to be voted in the first place. And you stick to it. He doesn't get in. And instead, somebody much more in line with progress, with much positive-minded, is in charge of affairs. We may be, or we may not be so experienced, but then again, there are youths that can learn these things. The people in power now, they did not wake up inside the National Assembly. They did not wake up inside State House, Government House.
They planned it.
So they planned it, and we can learn these processes ourselves, if not for ourselves, to be able to pick the right mind, such that, I mean, this country, there were statistics that you look around now, I think it was Vietnam, power generation within the last, and you see that the progress they have made within the last 10, 20 years.
Nigeria is still struggling with how many megawatts?
4,000, 5,000 megawatts, if at all. Yes. And you know that we can do a whole lot better. But then we need to just have our principles in check, hold tight to them, and not just be
blown around.
You know, yes.
What else?
Well, just to encourage the youth, encourage ourselves to get more involved. With what happened in the last election, I fear and feel that most of the youth will be retreating back because they feel like, well, what other effort can you make? That we came so close like this, and then it was still thrown at our faces. But then again, I believe that failure is not the absence of victory, but the absence of determination and will. So if we are determined and we still have that strong will that this is what we want, we have to get involved In fact, this is the best time for us to, get involved, more involved. We can use their own system to beat them. It's very possible, like you said, collect their money and still vote against them. Well, you get into the system, you use the same system that that brought you in to make a positive change. So we don't have to sit back because it didn't work out the last time.
Well, because our politicians know how to divide us.
Exactly.
And
to distract us.
Use young people. You arm somebody's children to go do your political toggery.
Exactly.
And your children are all based abroad, going to the very best of schools, eating the very best of food, and then take our destinies and then give it to their children.
And even out using the young ones who may be naive or
Yes.
plead naivety, there are also the poor ones who you dangle 500 naira in their face. They are ready to do whatever you wish. So we're hoping for a more empowered state where, even if you're hungry, you can get opportunities, you can stay noble to your principles and say that it's not hunger that will make me go and snatch ballot box.
Exactly.
It's not hunger that is going to go and make me lie against this, be tweeting and, passing all around the fake news and all of that. So hopefully, we'll get things right and get it right very soon because Nigeria needs to work in my lifetime. I don't know about it.
Thank you, young man. Thank you so much. I appreciate your insights on this show this morning. I've been speaking with Matthias Innocent, Mr. Michael Ajewale Oluwaseyi Funmi, and then of course Elo Zumba. Let's have that last part.
Obimne Tochi.
Obimne Tochukwu. My own is Obi Ajuru. Obimne Tochukwu. I want to pronounce it my own way, like I said. Yeah.
It's fair
so
enough.
thank you guys,
Thank you so
I hope that one of these days we'll come together again, and possibly another 2 years do assessment of how far we have come, how much the young people have taken their tomorrow into their own hands, not to allow the politicians dangle 200 naira or 500 naira or 5 million and then send us to the street to go fight for them. I'm also going to stand for women like me, because if you check what is happening in the National Assembly, the number of women has reduced to almost zero. So the men, we are coming for you. The young people are also coming for you. It is not a boast, but we are going to take our tomorrow into our hands. Thank you so much, young men.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The program continues shortly.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
Okay, yes, what an interview we had with these young persons. I want to say thank you, young people, young men. Thank you for coming on the show. Up next on the show is Views and Vibes. Of course, Newsmaker of the Week.
Hello, welcome to the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday Show. My name is Anu Awojabi. A need to celebrate art culture and the efforts of art collectors in shaping Africa's creative legacy have been emphasized by the art community, where the works of true cultural stewards, Akim Adedeji and Ngozi Edozian, were displayed for public viewing in Lagos. And behold, it was a beauty of African creativity and craftsmanship.
We're not selling the art. It's basically for people to see the works, basically, absorb the stories that they are telling, how they've captured our past, how they're interpreting our present, and how they are crafting a brighter future for us as a continent.
Creativity is nil, or rather it's reduced in societies that don't promote art. So in our society, art can help us to elevate ourselves. It can help the society to grow. It's not always about money. It's not always about, the hard things in life. And it's a story of collaboration between both ourselves and the artists and how we support the art.
So we learned as young people to live with art and to bring art into our home. And the name of the work is The Last Supper. And what I find amazing about it is not only is it a spiritual work, but it's a work that he's used everyday materials to create. And it looks like stained glass, but in fact, it's wood, it's pieces of metal, it's pieces of things that you have in your home every day.
The art collections showcased in this cozy arena caught the attention of the public, who had come to hear the stories behind the artistic works, the collectors and their values, visions, and the unwavering beliefs in the power of art to build bridges and shape futures.
It talks about people being engaged in commercial activities, going to the farm, getting farm produce, bringing it to the market, and making sure it is closer to the people who are in need of the farm produce.
Over the years, even across centuries, you see that beautiful, relationship between someone who collects the art, exposes the art, and the person who creates it.
The creatives described art as an expression and investment, a medium through which stories are preserved, identities affirmed, and talents elevated. And that's my package for you on the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday show. My name is Anu Awojobi. Many thanks for watching.
Can we say we have really attained nationhood? Have we done the labors of our heroes past a great deal of favor? Have all the federal structures set up, the INEC, the Constitution itself, the courts, the Federal Character Commission, police, security agencies, the legislature, executive, judiciary, can we say we have attained nationhood? Is the problem arising from the name given to us by colonialists who midwifed Nigeria the way they wanted it? Can we say it is because Nigeria was actually sold for £865,000 to the British by the Royal Niger Company, which actually controlled the territory of Nigeria? Is that a problem? Is it a problem of inferiority complex? Is it a problem of a name? Is it because of the Western world's spirit of revisionism, when they will want us to see the world through their binoculars, that made them to tell us that the river Niger was discovered by who? By Mungo Park. How can you discover a river where you met the natives, drinking the water, taking bath there? The natives were the ones who actually took you around before you even finally died of mosquitoes. Then you say you discovered that river Niger. That is a kind of narrative we are meant to imbibe. Great conquest, Vasco da Gama, William Wilberforce. Have we been able to shake up this stereotype, this toga of imperial control? I went back into history, sir, to look at some of the statements of our heroes past. They are all heroes, mind you. Some of them may have made mistakes, like we all do as human beings. But I can tell you that these heroes fought for our independence. Some of them were in their 20s, most in their 30s, few in their 40s, starting from the great Herbert Macaulay, that many people have not given too much space to whenever they talk about the history of Nigeria. A man to whom Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was just general secretary to his organization. So we must give them kudos. How many of us will remember that Chief Anthony Nahoro moved the motion for Nigeria's independence? At what age? How many of us will remember that people like Dr. Matthew Umbu was already ambassador to the UN at the age of about 25? An age when many of our students are still struggling to do their WAEC exam or pass through a university of a course of 4 years, but which is taking them 8 years. How many? Lord Lugard told us, in building up a country they wanted, not the one we wanted, he said the North and the South are like oil and water. They will never mix. Can we hear that? The North and the South are like oil and water. They will never mix. And we appear inexorably to be wanting to fulfill his prediction. Let me tell you, I believe in one strong Nigerian nation, a country of Dolly Parton's coat of many colors, a country of excellence, a country of about 236 million people, 236,741,000 people as at 2nd of this month by projection. I believe in one country, but, and this is the biggest but, it will be a country. Let me mimic Chief M.K. Abiola the way he will put it. You see, everybody says we need one country. One country. We need an indivisible country. I agree with you. But under what terms? Yes, we need peace. But not peace of the graveyard. No, peace of the cemetery. We need peace that is imbued with egalitarianism, so social justice, equity, mutual respect, religious tolerance, and respect for one another. That's the kind of country we need.
All right, that is our package for this week. And I want to believe that we all had fun listening to or being a part of this edition of the program. Ensure that you be that change you want to see and ensure that you are doing the right thing at the right time, even when nobody is watching you. Do have a fulfilled week on behalf of the production team. My name is Obi Ajuri Werimo. Bye-bye now.